he was a perfect director for that film. It was a really like...
Was he the guy who did not read the book and he had Dumbledore shout at Harry? Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? I have come prepared this time. Hello and welcome, my name is Sunny, and after watching all of the Harry Potter movies for the first time, now YouTube is suggesting me everything related to Harry Potter. I'm getting suggestions for deleted scenes from Harry Potter, cast interviews, behind the scene, bloopers, fan-made movies and everything. And among that, I found that there is a TV special which is a 20th year anniversary from the first movie, and it's like a reunion of the cast. And immediately I said, I have to watch this. I may not get any views on this video because I know it's not a movie, but I have to watch this. I was thinking about these actors who have worked together for like 10 years. They're pretty much like family now. And imagine the kids, they kind of grew up together. And I feel like I've seen them grow up in front of my eyes. So I'm like that unwanted relative that nobody invites, but he's always there. Yeah, I'm gonna be here at this reunion, even though I didn't get the invite. I'm already emotional thinking about it. That's why I have tissues with me, because I know that some of the actors are no longer with us. Some of them won't be here. Some of them who are here probably are not with us anymore. And yeah, I don't know what to expect from this. Are they going to talk about their experiences? We'll get to see some behind the scene action, how, you know, people were with each other, because I have only seen them fighting. I mean, the good versus bad. I'm super excited for this one. Also, if you want to watch the full length watch along format reaction, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Also, if you haven't seen my reaction to the Harry Potter movies, the link is in the description. Now, without wasting more time, let's start this thing. Mysterious thing time. Oh, he says that in Prisoner of... No. Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban, when they travel back in time. Is that Hermione? I probably do not know all... That's Hagrid? London. So they're waiting for something. The invite from Dumbledore. Emma Watson's secondhand bookshop. Coffee shop. Harry Potter 20th anniversary return to Hogwarts. Only these three got the invite. And I probably do not know the name of the actors, most of them. I know Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson. Like, I probably do not know the actor or like director's names. I'm bad with names. The twins, Ginny. Oh, the Bellatrix. That is probably the scene from the movies. They're not really redoing the train scene. They're actually in Hogwarts. Christmas. So this was probably Christmas special. It reminded me of the Goblet of Fire Christmas ball. Draco. Oh, I never thought I would see them hugging. I wish they had done that in the movies. Like, kind of like when in the end, when they were sending the kids off to school 19 years later, they should have shown them like at least talking to each other or like smiling. Weasley, Mr. Weasley. Bonnie, right, Ginny Weasley. Return to Hogwarts. He's in Diagon Alley.
At this very moment, people meeting in secret all over the country were holding up their glasses and saying in hushed voices, "To Harry Potter, the boy who lived."
Chapter 1. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Chambers of Secret.
It's so nice to see you.
Who's this? Chris Columbus, director. So he was the director of first two movies. Also, he only did the first two movies.
How did it come to you? Like, I would never get to ask this question. Like, how did you end up doing Harry Potter?
I ended up doing it because my daughter Eleanor convinced me to read the books after I refused 3 times. So once Prisoner of Azkaban came out, I said, okay, I'll read these, finally.
And his daughter was in one of the scenes, right? I think in the first movie with the sorting hat. Somebody left a comment saying that.
I think I probably would have been about 8 years old. I think that's when the first one came out. It became like our family thing. We used to do all the voices.
Oh, so
And
the
my
books
brother
were
and I just
really
became-
big.
A friend of mine at school had the first 2. And I went for a sleepover at his house. And he said, well, Philosopher's Stone's there on the bookshelf. That's why we just both sat there in silence, him reading Chamber of Secrets, me reading Philosopher's Stone. And that was it, really. I never looked back.
At the time of reading, we
The twins.
The new Harry Potter film are looking for children to play the 3 main roles in the multi-million-pound film.
Did they advertise like roles like on news?
So they seemingly walked away. And of course, while there's still one gentleman holding a boom mic straight over our heads. And this little girl asked me, "What's that?" I think he even said, "It's a mic, duh."
I became completely gripped by the excitement around this audition. I always knew that I was going for Hermione.
I was just excited. I wasn't sort of daunted. I wasn't thinking, I wonder how many films they're going to make. Anything like that. I thought, oh, this will be fun.
I think the deal was to sign on for like all 7 films and they would be filmed in LA. So mum and dad were like, no, that's like a...
Oh, they were filmed in LA.
These 2 guys in the row in front of me started sort of turning round. And action.
That's a dragon.
Oh my god, he looks...
What is that?
I don't recognize him. Without the glasses,
We screen tested the 3 of them together.
I'm pretty sure Emma is Hermione. Like, she looks like, I mean, she's Hermione in real life.
I checked this out first term for a bit of light reading. This is light. Shut up. I knew it. Nicholas Flamel is the only known maker of the Sorcerer's Stone. The what? Oh, honestly, don't you two read?
The smile on her face.
It feels like no time has passed and loads of time has passed simultaneously.
Yeah, kind of much the same. It's quite surreal.
Well, no time has passed for me. I've like watched all the movies in 2 months.
I do remember that when it was the 3 of us, something felt different and right and easy. I do remember the click.
They were meant to be.
Hermione made complete sense to me. That's me.
See, I was saying that.
She was a brilliant kid.
I think I'm scarily like my character.
Rupert was Ron, and Dan kind of was Harry.
How do you feel about becoming famous?
Be cool.
My memory of it is that it seemed effortless to you.
Well, on the first film, I was dying the entire time. I always believe you cannot bring that kind of anxiety. I want everyone to feel comfortable. I want everyone to feel like...
It must be difficult to work with kids. Like, no matter how talented they are, they're still kids. And they have like the huge cast of kids. First year at Hogwarts.
Welcome to your first flying lesson. I want you to raise your hand over the broom.
I'm sort of amazed at the fact that I wasn't ever like completely overwhelmed by it.
Obviously, we were just kids, and we were all looking forward to mucking about together. Chris Columbus.
From Philosopher's Stone, as I just learned how to play Slam.
You know what we did a lot of as well was that.
We did that too. That's like a common game every culture has.
And for the other viewers, get a mouse trap. Don't put it on your nose.
Our attention would wane and come and go.
Just so happy to be in a Harry Potter film that they couldn't contain...
Anyone would be.
But it's not easy because it takes a tremendous amount of patience with kids, particularly with kids as hyperactive and as excitable as we all were.
Well, they wanted to read.
The bank.
Boys here. Snuck away. Couple of Gryffindors.
Look at you. Come here.
Oh, how much they have grown. Feels like I just saw the final movie a week ago.
I don't think any of the kids had the capability of understanding the gravity of who they were dealing with.
What are you going to say for yourself?
Oh, Dudleys. Are they gonna be in this reunion?
Robbie Coltrane.
He was such a kid, like, so immature.
He loved making us laugh, and he was incredibly good at it.
Who was Robbie? Is Hagrid Robbie? I don't know his real name.
Spent so much time together.
I know.
mean-
I spent more time with you than I did with my own children. at
I
one
know,
point.
wild. I keep thinking about that scene where I get called a mudblood.
Yes.
And you were so sweet with me that day. Because it was
Yeah.
like my first, big piece of acting.
Some of the sets on Potter were overwhelming to me, and I've been doing it for 35 years, you know. Oh, blimey.
The very first time I
So
visited
they
the
had
site,
real
they walked
sets.
me through the Great Hall, which was mind-blowing.
One of my favourite moments on set ever was the moment when all the floating candles started burning through the ropes that tied them to the ceiling and just started falling around the grate. So much of that would be visual effects now. The fact that we got to actually be
that's
on
so
that
true.
set.
That's so cool.
Thank you, Stuart Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would all be CGI now.
The hardest scene to shoot was Quidditch, and the audience had to understand the rules immediately.
Each team has 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, One keeper and the seeker.
The only part that I remember is probably the seeker.
Kind of opened up the whole world for us. And the first film is very storybook, very inviting. It's like,
it's lovely and
welcome to Hogwarts until you get to the end of the movie.
And I melt a man's face.
Yes, exactly.
The thing about the boroughs I remember is that it changed all the time. One minute there was a huge fireplace of flue powder, and then there was and then it got smaller.
Yeah, it was like a
Mr. Weasley.
set that changed. And all these scenes that we got on top of everything else.
Oh, Julie's brilliant to work with. We used to...
Oh, is she?
They really were like older brothers. Julie Waters and Mark Williams. They were like my second family. They were always kind of staying in character, and they would have this kind of... They would bounce off each other.
Is she no longer with us?
Play nicely.
Mr. Potter.
Meet the Malfoys.
I was first aware of Harry Potter because everybody was reading the books on the tube. Everywhere I went.
I know this actor. I do not recognize him without the wig. I've seen him in some things.
I was about to play Captain Hook in Peter Pan, and I thought, well, I don't want to play two children's villains. And I read through gritted teeth, deep...
Isn't he beautiful? Oh, bless him, look, he knows his mummy.
I adored Tom from the second I met him. He was always just the biggest sweetheart.
Working with Jason was a real treat. In fact, working with Jason was not always a treat.
They're both really nice guys, I'm pretty sure.
Watching his little face, constantly seeking my approval. The very first scene that I shot was actually cut and it's on the deleted scenes. Draco touched something and I used this.
It's the Nocturne Alley. I've seen that scene.
But I didn't know how sharp the teeth were. And they went right into little Tom's hands.
Ow. Dobby.
Harry Potter. I remember saying to a friend, you know, I've got...
He's Dobby's voice.
Swing my leg out. Step down the slab. Swing my stick. And Chris goes, cut! Can we clean the floor where Jason slipped, please? And I said, no, I didn't slip. I kicked Dobby down the stairs.
Oh, they didn't have that planned. I think so. We're going to talk about the first two movies and then go to the further movies. So in the chronological order.
And we had a animatronic version of Fox the Phoenix. Richard came in and looked at the Phoenix and said, wow, they train these animals marvelously these days.
Because they had a camera inside the eye, so they could see Richard looking at it. And
the third movie. Third and fourth. Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire. Sirius Black.
Thank you for coming.
That man. Who is that?
So we're going to see more actors like as we progress to the future movies.
The image of Sirius Black as a criminal is one that's presented to Harry.
But what's he got to do with me?
And yet when Harry meets him and comes to learn that he's not who he has been told
It
he
is
was.
Prisoner of Azkaban is probably one of my favorite Harry Potter movies. And maybe the last one. Because of all of the action in the last one.
Can I ask you, when were you first approached to be serious?
People were telling me to read the books, and I had kids, so it was going to be in my universe. They were taking a slightly darker approach. I think at the time he was the main attraction.
They are passing the threshold between childhood and their teenage years. In the first two, Harry is still a child.
Alfonso. So he directed the third movie.
That overshadows everything around Harry. And we needed to convey that also stylistically.
Oh, the Dementors. That's what he meant.
A much darker kind of story. There was a lot of kind of quite adult themes in it.
That they were sucking an essence of Harry. But I think that the most important piece to achieve that was Dan's performance.
It's difficult to imagine all of these with the special effects.
The first person I remember being like in awe of when they came in was Gary.
I remember
Oldman.
that. Because Gary Oldman, it's a really big deal and you need to be cool. And I was like...
Stuff in the Shrieking Shack at the end. I feel like me, Rupert and Emma were just like watching tennis in that scene, just being like, this is acting, guys. This is what we all need to be working towards. To watch you guys act, but also just watching you guys as people and just watching these like incredible actors who were just like, and you showed me the wonders of that sometimes as well, and that was really important.
Let's kill him! Wait, I did
Did they have a real rat in there?
It's a very long scene. It's a scene in which there are a lot of twists inside the scene. It's an intense scene in which a lot of things are at stake.
Yeah, that was like the twist.
I told Dumbledore you were helping an old friend into the castle, and now...
Once again, you put your keen and penetrating mind to the task, and as usual, come to the wrong conclusion.
I always loved the character.
Now I understand when Snape says that it's time for the payback or something, because they kind of bullied Snape, maybe together, I don't know.
He wanted to get to know us, so he set us this exercise where he asked us to write an essay in character.
And after about sort of a half a side of A4, I was like, good 500 pages about this, but I feel like this one pretty much sums it up. Great.
Of course, Emma writes like 12 pages, like beautifully written.
Emma is Hermione.
And I said, Rupert, where's your assignment? I thought that Ron wouldn't do it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Emma is just such an effortless actor. When you're doing the scenes, it's as if everything is just flowing out of her. In the two of them flying in the night under the silver moon.
It was like a family, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It more than any other experience. But with Potter, you would come back, and wow, that's what made it.
It just feels like, you know,
Yeah.
being in these, you get to be a part of film history.
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire, doing all of the Triwizard Tournament stuff, was so lovely.
I might as well use these.
The scenes, and to be surprised. Like, I remember seeing the Beauxbatons come and do their entrance, and the Durmstrangs.
We wanted something quite theatrical.
He was a perfect director for that film. It was a really, like...
Was he the guy who did not read the book and he had Dumbledore shout at Harry? So did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Weasley twins, whom I was very fond of, they had to fight.
And then we had these wigs on and beards on. Mike said, okay, so I think you guys would be really annoyed with each other. I think you should have a good fight about this.
You said.
Like an idiot. I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, of course, that was a tubby. I really shouldn't have done it.
And so he dived on me and, like, just went like this.
I remember gripping him round the waist.
Did he get hurt? Oh no. Somebody mentioned that in the comments.
The amount of, like, prep and coaching Emma and I would give each other on, like, texting to the opposite sex. Like, if she was texting a boy or I was texting a girl, I'd be like, she sent me this many kisses back. What do I do? This is a nightmare.
A lot of hormones flying around.
There was...
So they had like similar relationship as in the movies. I mean, Harry and Hermione.
A bunch of, like, hormonal teenagers anyway, and then, like, bring in two massive groups of new people. All of them are, like, purposefully hot. He is just, like, a slightly awkward teenage boy in a very unremarkable way.
No.
Maggie's right in the middle, and she says, right, I'm going to teach you to dance. Of course, she picks Rupert.
Place your right hand on my
Where?
wrist.
What?
It's great.
James and Oliver, the twins, they were constantly kind of ruining me. Before we filmed it, there was this whole like dance routine plan.
We were like, do you know your steps?
One of the most enchanting days was the Great Ball, because there was all these incredibly beautiful young people, perfectly dressed.
Except Ron.
You didn't feel cool at really any point in that.
I don't know, my great aunt Tessie.
He smelled like her.
She looks beautiful. Harry and Ron, particularly Ron, see Hermione as a young woman.
They sit so parallel to everyone's life, like the first school dance, those kind of emotions, those anxieties, insecurities.
Now, don't swing your arm.
Mike Newell coached me to walk down the stairs, and he's giving me a million different directions about how to walk.
Emma and I have always loved each other, really.
What you thought God looked like. And Tom had drawn a girl with a backward cap, a skateboard. I just don't know how to say it. I just fell in love with him. And if his number was on the call sheet, it was an extra exciting day. You're like my little sister.
Became very protective over her.
Was the one I could often be vulnerable with. Nothing has ever happened romantically with us. We just love each other. That's all I can say about that.
Who knew?
And suddenly there is Voldemort.
He who must not be named.
I didn't feel Voldemort was that human. I felt he was the essence of evil. I know he's been human, but he's become a snake-like thing. So there was the voice, the sort of snake-like whispered.
He did a great job with that.
Rafe wanted to be ultimately evil. The best way to do that was to take his nose off.
Kill the stag!
And Harry, he
manages to take the body. Cedric Diggory's father believes that his son has won, and then he realizes that the kid is dead.
That was really hard to watch.
Cedric Diggory was murdered by Lord Voldemort.
The three of them, they're in adversity, and that forges friendships, as we know.
Oh, Harry's gold.
You know what I've always wanted to do? Let me see if we can. Is get up here. Oh, look, they really don't look very well.
They still have these sets.
They're really still here. I mean, has anyone fed them? This is so sad.
Are they puppets?
You know what? I took a photograph of something last night. I thought, I'm going to just dig up.
Oh, her vault.
In the sense that I always ended up holding your coffee, I do love you.
Then what does it say? You can share.
We can share this now. I said, I do love you, and I just wish I'd been born 10 years earlier. I might have been in with a chance.
Oh.
When I was first offered it, Joe sent me a secret message saying, like, there might not be much on the page, but she's going to do something significant. I was just like, and totally anarchist.
Psychopath. Yeah. There's like a playfulness to her, which is like even more disturbing.
Crazy. She was crazy.
I killed you, didn't I?
You killed me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I remember we worked lots of spells and things. You were a really good wizard, I was a really good witch. And we had a real duel, and they cut the whole lot.
Oh.
Because I just thought, I've been to one school for weeks.
Then there was speculation of, does he come back? Can you come back from the veil?
You don't.
No, you can't.
I thought the same thing, but somebody left a comment. Just today, I saw that comment that once you go there, even if you're alive or dead, you don't come back. They took days to do this final scene.
I always say that there was an interesting point for all of us as like younger actors, because there was a certain group like Maggie, and when you came in, by that point I was like 15, 16, so like you and Gary and David would treat us more like adults. I loved it.
Growing up. Oh, is she gonna be here? Dolores Umbridge.
I went into Order of the Phoenix with the young actors in mind and sort of thinking about how we sort of grow the whole thing up and make it a little bit more adult and sort of thematic and a little darker.
So he has done all of the remaining 4 movies.
Emma is not sure she wants to come back to do another Potter.
People definitely forget what she took on and how gracefully she did it.
I did find a diary entry that was kind of like, I can see that at times I was lonely.
Aww.
I don't know if you ever felt like it got to a tipping point when you were like, this is kind of forever now.
Yeah, no, I had moments like that kind of all the way through.
Yeah, it probably can be stressful. All of this fame, and especially when you're young.
The fame thing had finally hit home in a big way. No one had to convince me to see it through. The fans genuinely wanted you to succeed. How great is that?
I'm glad she came back. That's a scene where he says we have something Voldemort doesn't.
I've been thinking about something Dumbledore said to me.
What's that?
That even though we've got a fight ahead of us, we've got one thing that Voldemort doesn't have.
Something to fight, something worth fighting for.
Something worth fighting for.
My son, Billy, we used to watch them every night. You know, if you got the Sunday Night Blues, was watching.
She still has those teeth on.
I remember him talking to me, and I kept forgetting that I have to talk back to him because I'm so used to watching him on a screen. So I would just kind of be like... And then he found this secret world of oddbods, of misfits. The movies kind of gave people permission to accept parts of themselves. Quite liberating to see your oddness as a superpower represented on screen.
So she's also like Luna in real life.
Everyone felt more like they belonged by witnessing these characters that didn't belong.
That's why probably I like these movies so much.
I always found Ginny, Harry, that relationship, how that kind of slowly developed the whole Weasley family, and Harry essentially becoming a Weasley himself. It was something I never really kind of expected, especially kind of reading the books.
I want to know, like, when was the last book released and how long after that was a movie released? Slytherin Common Room.
Your company.
Did you? Oh, thank you.
That's for sure.
We haven't seen this room a lot. I think probably only once when Harry and Ron are pretending to be Crab and Goyle.
Except one time it did happen with me, and they said, okay, this time we are going to blow up Hogwarts.
Oh yeah, you got to do it, didn't you? Yeah,
and they said, so we will take your cue.
Yeah.
When you do your spell, it will blow up.
That was the end of Half-Blood Prince. I love that I'm watching this right after watching all of these movies. Otherwise, I wouldn't remember much. It's just all so fresh to me still.
What Draco's journey is to do with whether he is or isn't trying to please his father.
In the 6th film, they make him do the worst thing ever, or to attempt the worst thing ever of killing Dumbledore, and
we were able to give him the opportunity to explore a far more complex and interesting journey. And I sat down with him and I said, Tom, look, this is your opportunity to really shine.
You did a great job, like, as Draco.
No.
Are they going to talk about Dumbledore's death? That's like, that was a shocker. Please.
It's obviously amazing to be back, but it's so, I guess, like shocking that so many people that we both thought would be around for much longer than they...
They're like family, grieve in the same way.
Yeah.
Just too soon.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard was classic. Probably one of the funniest men I've ever met. He was this devilish 11-year-old trapped in a 70-plus-year-old man's body.
Will you give us another 12, Ace?
I feel really lucky to have some little bit of touch with the amount of just amazing people that have passed.
Oh,
I knew that absolute legend.
I know I've got to be here.
oh shit. Oh.
I feel lucky to have worked with her and shared just so much, frankly, adolescent laughter with her on the set.
she had taught me a lot. She had this ability, just to sort of to show such empathy in our eyes.
Alan Rickman never talked to me like I was a child. He always took my thoughts and opinions very seriously.
Alan was a very dear friend. We had that final scene, his final scene.
I've barely ever seen him smile.
The ones that love us never really leave us. And you can always find them in here.
Remember this, you're not alone.
Deathly Hallows.
And that they knew exactly how dangerous that would be. He wanted to tell them what that meant to him, but he simply could not find words important enough.
Are these the lines from the book? Because I don't think I've heard them in the movies. Something worth fighting for.
I remember you having a hamster and being vaguely jealous that you had an animal that was on set with you.
They made a coffin for it.
When Millie died, the set designers built Millie her own custom-made wooden coffin.
I have forgotten so much of this.
It doesn't feel like much time has passed.
I know.
We all still look better than we do in the epilogue, which is great.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. They don't look that old yet.
No one else can really quite understand what we experience. It's a very unique thing. I think David Yates used to describe us as astronauts.
We're all going to stand together, or I'm knackered. Are you okay, Dan, if I, fall asleep on you?
I think we have all fallen asleep in various, on each other in, some of the most grand cathedrals and things.
It was like the three of us could communicate without even having to say anything. We just knew what needed to be done. We were each very strong for each other.
It's good to see, they, whatever we saw on screen, behind the screen also, they had such good chemistry and such good bond with each other.
The scene that I thought was going to be really awkward and I wasn't sure about at all, which was us doing our dance. That's one of my favourite scenes from the whole of the series.
On the last movie, the director came in and was like, hey, how about you do slow dancing to Nick Cave for 5 minutes? You're like, wait, what movie are we working on? There was that sequence on the last movie where it was us running through the forest. Honestly, I remember you and Emma becoming incredibly competitive.
Ridiculously competitive.
About who was going to run faster.
And that worked for the scene. The scene was very chaotic.
Yeah, for me, running is a stunt.
Especially because we had started off young and really not knowing what we're doing, so that when we'd see each other do a bit of real acting, you go, oh, cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was on.
Obviously, us kissing was the most horrifying thing.
It was just built up so much, the whole series.
This relationship has been so restrained for so long. The audience are desperate to see these two kiss.
Actually,
okay, guys, you can do this. It's going to be great.
Oh, this set was all fake? You can't tell.
And I was just really scared we were never going to get it because we just couldn't take it seriously.
I just remember your face getting closer and closer to my...
Every time you talk about this, you make it sound like an actual horror. Kissing Rupert is one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. It just felt wrong because Dan, Rupert and I are so much siblings.
I owe so much to Neville as a character. I was very, very shy and I would never speak up in class. I wouldn't put my hand up for anything because I very much was him.
So a lot of these actors were playing just themselves in the movie.
But the thing that Harry Potter did for me, both as a story and as an actor in it, was that it helped me to find, at first, what I'm not, therefore, by extension, found what I am. Freedom!
I really like that scene.
As they apparate, they merge together. That deep connection that we'd sort of threaded through the stories and the films, you'd visualize in that moment before they tumble down into the courtyard.
That was such a great scene.
There was that small pressure of thinking, you're the one who's going to finish this. It has to go out on a high. It has to be meaningful. It has to resonate.
It did. A new beginning. I wish they had shown like Hogwarts restored and, you know.
What do you think about when you think about it now, Rue?
I'm very proud to have been part of them. I think towards the end, it was kind of a weird time, especially kind of finishing. I feel like weird things, even my name didn't feel like my name.
Yeah.
I felt I only really knew how to do one thing.
Yeah.
I knew how to play wrong.
The way it feels for me now, seeing you here, having had time apart, I'm trying not to get emotional, it feels like you're like a pillar of my life.
It's a very overwhelming thing because I've watched you grow up. We've watched each other grow up. We grew up together.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. And we have watched them grow up.
It was such a metaphor for what was actually happening. We had to like jump onto a map, basically, to travel into another world.
The collective emotion was incredibly palpable.
But this was from the part 1 of Deathly Hallows.
It's so ingrained in me as well. Like, I measure my life with these movies. Someone says like, oh, when did you pass your driving test? I'm like, Order of the Phoenix.
There's something about Harry Potter that makes life richer. Like when things get really dark and times are really hard, stories give us places we can go where we can rest.
Yeah, totally.
What's so profoundly therapeutic and good about it is it's made people who otherwise feel lonely, they feel they belong.
Most of the fans that come up and say hello to me now weren't even born when we made the film, so...
One of the things that was unique about Harry Potter, besides the incredible imagination and world and characters that were created, was the fact that you get to see young children grow into adults and to see that journey on film.
The legacy of the movies is that my children's generation will show them to their children. So you could be watching it in 50 years' time. Easy. I'll not be here, sadly, but Hagrid will.
Kind of looking back at it now, I'm just really fond memories. I think about it a lot. It was a great time. It really was. It was...
And he died the same year when this came out, I think.
The crew on these films were unbelievable. There are people on these films that are foundational to who I am. As a person and an actor, I feel so lucky to be where I am and to have the life that I have and be able to work with the people I work with now. None of it is possible without this. So yeah, it was a very good 10 years.
I just could not stop crying. I cried through half of this thing. Oh man, all of the actors who passed away, that part was so difficult to watch, especially the actor who plays Hagrid, Robbie. When he says that, I won't be here, but Hagrid will. That really hit me. The thing I really love about movies, the two things. One is it's an escape. You can travel to a different world for a while and forget about the real world. Sometimes we need that. That's why I watch movies. You know, you can just escape the real world for those 2 hours. Second thing I love about movies is that the people who make movies or the people who are in the movies, they live forever. You know, you can pick a movie from 70 years ago. Those actors, those people, they're still alive in those movies. And that's also why I wanted to do YouTube or something like this. Because 20 years later, if I'm alive, I could come back and watch this video and watch myself cry. Just relive this moment. I'm trying. This is the hardest outro that I had to make so far, and I do really appreciate everyone who watches my videos, and thank you for watching me cry today. And if you wanna see me cry more, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I will see you next time.